Hi, and welcome to the Kelley Kitley podcast, America's Social Worker Unfiltered, where every week I have hopeful, honest, and deeply human conversations with change makers. I'm already starting to cry. This week I have my 4 siblings for a special Thanksgiving episode number 20. And I am so grateful that they all said yes to being on the podcast today. So thank you guys all for being here. And we will just go in birth order. And if everybody can introduce themselves, say where they're from, their age, and what their profession is. That's you, Brad.
That's me. My name's Brad. I'm 44, and I'm a bar owner and live in Lincoln Park, Chicago, Illinois.
Thank you.
Big bro.
Nick?
Broski.
I am Nikki. I am the middle child, aka the best child. And
Wow.
I am 42 years old. I live in the Chicagoland area, and I am a business owner of a medical spa called Omni Aesthetics. And also, I own a business, a small fitness boutique with my lovely sister, Emma. And I am a brand educator for a skincare line called Green Envee.
Huh?
Jeez.
Wow.
Nice. This set the tone.
Y'all
Okay,
did me.
Emmy?
I don't know how I follow that, but my name is Emma. I am 38. I live in Chicago, and I am a Chicago Public School special education teacher, as well as a co-business owner of the studio with Nikki. Sorry, I wasn't sure if we were dropping the name yet or not.
Yeah, drop it.
We're new studio.
We're
new studio. Come see us. All your fitness needs.
I'm the youngest. I'm the baby. My name's AJ. I'm 35 years old. I live in Los Angeles, California. I'm a basketball trainer, but I look more of it like a motivational basketball training speaker type. But that's really it.
Thank you so much. Just amazing to hear what everybody's doing and where we came from. And I truly believe that the best gift that our parents ever gave us was each other. And being one of 5, the oldest, I have been around for everybody's birth and transformation and all the different places we lived. And I think something that runs deep in our roots is business entrepreneurship, just with growing up in the restaurant and bar business. And certainly for me, I think it's so interesting to see how things have transformed from all of us working as waitresses and bartenders and door people and managers of all the restaurants, and mom opening Kaleidoscope in Bucktown, the cafe. And it's, I think we were born into the world with this really strong family dynamic of just making an impact, and it looks different and has looked different across our lifespan. So, with Brad and I growing up above the Burwood, and Nikki being born, I remember that day, and we were in the kitchen, and Dad was so excited that he was having another girl. And then mom being pregnant with Emma when we moved next door, and then you being born on my birthday 9 years later. And then moving to Round Lake. I mean, that was a huge transition for our family to move to a suburb with a baby and 3 young children. And then that's where AJ was born. And it's so funny because mom looked like a basketball when she was pregnant with you. So I think you were just born into the world that way and loving it. And then certainly moving back to Trip, I think I was going into 8th grade, and we're all 3 years apart. So that was another huge transition. And I think the YMCA was something that helped raise us too in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, I was 18 and went to college, and kind of classic of sometimes what happens in marriages. I came home for Thanksgiving, and mom and dad had decided to get divorced, and Brad stayed with dad, and Nikki, Emma, and AJ went and lived in an apartment with mom. And I think, you know, as I conceptualize the way our family was, and obviously siblings coming from the same parents have such different experiences, not only from their perspective, but also our parents were very different people at different ages throughout their life, and who they showed up, how they showed up for us was different. And so, you know, coming back and having that kind of idyllic world shattered in a way, because I felt like we were so close as a family unit. And you know, I think back to holidays, even when we were younger, going to South Bend at Grandma and Grandpa's house, and then Aunt Laura carrying that tradition, and now at my house, you know. And I think that we continue to evolve and change. And I guess I just want to start by asking anybody who wants to jump in and share, like, when you think about all of the holidays we've spent together, and now as adult children, and we all spend so much time together and text all the time and touch base with one another, what is your favorite holiday that stands out for you?
I'll jump in here. I just want to piggyback on what you were saying as we're all sitting here talking, and you are talking about all the transitions of our childhood and growing up together. My brain was literally going to each place, and I'm sure all of ours were in some way, right? Like I was
So
like,
true.
oh,
So
oh
true.
yeah. And there were so many memories around just you talking, Kelley. And I'm sure that looked so different for us from where we stand or where we are in the five of us. And so it's wild because I know as you were talking, we were all kind of in our brains thinking of all those moments, and to know that that could be so different around, you know, for all five of us. But one thing that I really want to talk about, which I think is funny, is we're coming up on the holidays and Christmas and creating this, you know, magical time of year, and how the difference, the holidays looking different as you're getting older and just all of that. But you know, I'm trying to, being a mom of four, create this magical time for my kids. And I think back often to our childhood. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but my kids like wanted to put up the Christmas tree the day after Halloween. And I was like, why would we have our Christmas tree up for that amount of time? That is crazy. Like, we haven't even gotten through Thanksgiving. And it's been kind of a funny argument with me and my kids, because it's like, well, we want it to feel like Christmas, and we want this feeling, and we want it to be so exciting. And I'm like, do you know that when I was growing up, my parents would take the five of us to go get our Christmas tree on Christmas Eve? And like,
Christmas Day.
yeah, like it was
Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But like that is
love
what
you guys.
stands out the most to me, is because it was just, but it was one of my, it was like something that stands out so much. And it was such a favorite time of mine, because it was like the magic of Christmas Eve. And we knew that, like, you know, Santa was coming that night, and we would all go out together as a family. And it was like all five of us, and mom and dad when they were still married. And it was like 8 o'clock on Christmas Eve, and we would go get our Christmas tree and then decorate it together. But so that's what really stands out to me. I think that as people have their own traditions and things like that, it's important to like know that one way is not the right way. So my kids were like, that is crazy that you guys
And did you
We're
find a
also all
compromise?
crazy too.
What'd you say?
I said, she's
we're
like,
all
it was a
crazy?
crazy time. I'm like, yeah, because we're all crazy too, in a good way, obviously.
And the sleigh ride, right? Like going downtown and getting, riding the horses and the sleigh ride. Like, I think that epitomizes what our family, we just like put it all in one day, right?
The extreme. Yeah, we're so extreme.
Right,
yeah.
right. We binged it. It was Christmas Eve, and it was like, go hard. And then Christmas came, and it's like, it's over. And then we took our tree down.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, but we did compromise, so much of being a mom and growing up with all of you guys. I think I think of those experiences, and I think we've had such amazing experiences, and I want my kids to have the same kind of love and bond that we have. And so, mom and dad did something right, right? But we found a compromise, and I told them after Thanksgiving, let me get through things, like, not let me get through Thanksgiving, I shouldn't say that, but like, let's enjoy Thanksgiving. That's what I meant to say. Let's enjoy Thanksgiving. And then once Thanksgiving ends, we can then start to get to Christmas. So, yes.
I love
Compromise.
that. Thanks.
Yeah.
I think just to bounce off Nikki, I don't know, I can't speak for all of us, but I just always feel like Christmas. I don't know what it was, but just being with everyone, we'd always get together. We'd go to 12 o'clock mass, which was always just something that always stuck out. I know I missed it a couple times. I'd fall asleep because I was waiting for presents, but I think just everything we did, whether it was playing bingo, whether it was just all of us being together, whether it was just like there was something about it. And it's so nostalgic. And it's like me coming home for Christmas this year. I don't think I've been home for Christmas the last 6 years, maybe. I don't know when the last time was. So it's like reliving that moment in my mind of just being with you guys and just the memories. And like, I'm so excited. Also, there's not snow out here. So I think Christmas to me is like Chicago, snow, cold. Here it's a little bit different. It's like 65. I'm like, wait, it's Christmas. So I believe just the memories that we've made as young kids, and like now 20 something years later, it's still, those memories are still in my mind of us just being together and enjoying each other, and not having a bunch of people over, but just having us together. And I think the power of family. And now that I'm a little bit older, it's like this means the most to me. And just to be with you guys, I think it's really, really special. So I'm gonna say Christmas,
Thanks, Age.
of course.
Em or Brad, anything to add?
Yeah, I guess Christmas was the best. It's it's our time of season. We love it.
Well, it was mostly
Um,
because you and I were always playing Santa Claus, putting the gifts together. And mom
yeah,
and dad would go
That
up
is
to
true.
bed.
I'm
Brad and
trying
I
to
would
think.
put drum sets together. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Mom and dad were like, Brad and Nikki, you got this? You're gonna put the gifts together.
Yeah,
But there
I
was
remember.
something in that. There was something in that, being with your sibling, like having that time together, figuring out how to put a drum set together. I think like there was so
What
much of
was that puppet we had for Christmas, Kelly? And we had to bury it because we thought it was going to come alive or something. And
Yeah,
we
Dad
woke.
got it at like an antique fair in like Cook County or like
It was like
Lake
3
County
in the
Fair.
morning, and we like made him bury it 6 feet,
Yeah.
and it was only like 3 feet deep, and we're like, you need to go 6 feet, and we thought it like we went back to bed, and we thought it came back, and wow, remember that?
I do remember that. And
Yeah,
I'm also
yeah,
laughing because I'm thinking about how that was a threesome unit, you, me, and Nikki in the Round Lake house, because Emma and AJ were so young. And it was like we
Gosh.
were the three musketeers. And
yeah,
you and I
yeah.
would fight over Nikki and who was better
Oh
friends with her
yeah,
and who got
yeah.
to hang out with her more. So
the middle child, the
the
middle
middle
child.
child,
The
little
best.
tug
Come
of
on,
Remember?
war.
Emmy. Come on, Emmy. What's your favorite?
Come on, Emma.
That's hard to say. I mean, definitely Christmas, but I think, I think all of the holidays, whether it was Easter or
Uh,
Thanksgiving or Christmas, like we did it all so big just on that one day. It really felt it really felt special, and it felt like a different day out of the year than just a regular day, whether we were going to Morris Park and doing the country club for brunch, or whatever it was. We always came together, and we always celebrated and made it special.
And the best gift of us
Amazing.
all living so close together too is now, there's 10 and a half grandchildren. And for
Yeah.
people who are listening today, as they prepare for their own Thanksgiving, we celebrated. We missed you, AJ, but we did FaceTime you in.
You guys did. You brought me tears too. The barber's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I think you got a piece of hair." He's like, "It's okay." I was like, "Okay." I got a little teary eyed. It was so special.
Gosh, and just like seeing it through their eyes, and also like the transformation. I think maybe this is kind of where we can shift in talking about being business owners and how that lifestyle shaped a huge part of who we are today, is that, you know, it used to be very heavily saturated alcohol festivities, and I think too what it was.
I think that's what brought us all together. That bottle of tequila. I mean, I think AJ brought a bottle. I think it was, how many ounces was it? And we just went at it with all
1942.
the shot.
Yeah.
1942, the best.
Well,
We
to
just
most
went
people,
nuts.
that's what they think the holidays are, right? Like
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
together,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's changed a lot for us for sure. But that's what the holidays are for a lot of people, and
Yeah.
a time to celebrate. And yeah, absolutely. But um, we've maybe gotten a
I,
little more health conscious as we've gotten older
Yeah.
in a
yeah,
very
yeah.
positive
In
way.
a great way. In a great
Yeah.
In a
way.
great way.
Yeah.
I think Kelley. I think we hit the LaCroix this Thanksgiving. I think I had about 4 or 5 of them, and
I still have a drinking problem. It's just a different substance.
it's all right.
Yeah, you guys are the best.
But I am trying to think of who started working first. I think of all of our odd jobs when we were younger, at working at pizza places and the corner store in Old Irving, Brad, and
Yeah, JB's.
and just whether they were our parents' establishments or other neighborhood establishments, we
Yeah.
were always so excited to earn our own money and to be independent and to take the lead, for better and for worse, right? I think all of us have a hard time having somebody else take care of us at times.
Yeah.
And that goes to show, like, it was, you do it, you want it, for all dad's faults. I think that we got a lot of the good things about him as well. Just believing that we can do anything we want. And I sit here today looking at all 5 of us, and really having achieved a lot of our dreams. And I think that comes from supporting and lifting each other up and believing in one another, as well as, Al saying, you don't give a fuck. Like, do whatever you want. Nobody cares. And you take that mentality, and it's true, and mom's like business minded, savvy sense. And people who don't know our story, mom and dad come from such different places. And, mom coming from a very intact, upper middle class, intellectual family where her father was a doctor and her mom was a nurse, and going to Northwestern and meeting this scrappy guy who is the manager at the place they all hung out, this charismatic, funny, bigger than life guy. I mean, she fell in love with him and they were young. I mean, mom was 23 when they got married, and they lived so many lives through having us and through all the transitions that I explained in the beginning. So for me, working at Burwood was the best. And that's something that I feel like I developed so many skills in my entrepreneurial mind, and as well as being a social worker behind the bar. People would come back the next day and not remember what we talked about, but we were still kind of doing therapy at the bar. And I made a ton of money. Like, I loved that job. And you guys all worked at all of the establishments, probably more so than I did, because you also started working a lot younger than I did because you lived in the city. What are some memories you guys have from working at Chicago Joe's or Yesterday's or Kaleidoscope or Burwood, that like stick out to you and maybe have helped transformed who you are today?
Well, I
I'm
remember
gonna.
mom
Oh,
opened up a Kaleidoscope, and we thought that was such a cool little coffee shop. And that little, what's the area called?
Oh yeah, in
Buck, yeah.
Bucktown, the Wayland Park,
Bucktown. And
underneath the
yeah, it
blue
was
line.
just,
Yeah.
yeah. And I just think mom's always been really good, savvy at restaurants or coffee shops or just anything. And I think we got most of all our ambition from her because she's really good at what she does.
And not only that, but that time in her life, I would say,
Yeah.
looking at all of us and like our similarities, because I do get asked that a lot. Like, you guys all are in your own business. You all have your own business. Like, you guys are all risk takers. You guys, and what stands out to me is that, when mom opened that cafe in Bucktown, that was a huge risk. Like, she was a single
Yeah.
mom
Yeah.
at that point.
Absolutely.
And for her to say, I'm going to open this cafe, I'm going to do whatever I can to make it thrive and come in with such that business mindset. I mean, I watched her do that. I worked there all through high school.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was amazing to watch. And there were times of admiration looking at her and being like, she has 5 children and she is a single mom, and she decided to open up this cafe and take a risk. And I think each of us have that in us, that I think that there's so much that we saw in her that she taught us in business. And of course, like, dad is always ingrained in my head, and he always will be, because he really always promoted us working for ourselves. And he always had those conversations with me. Why are you going to work for somebody else? You can do it. You can work for yourself. And I did payroll with him at Burwood when I was in 6th or 7th grade, and we would go up to his office, and he taught me how to save money. He's like, pay yourself the least amount of money that you can pay yourself, and go, like, put all that money away and pretend like it doesn't exist. So there were so many things from both of them that, I think all of us exude in us today, and what we did. But that was my experience definitely with mom and Kaleidoscope, and her taking those risks.
That was so influential. And as a woman who runs several businesses, you certainly followed in her footsteps. So
the one-upper. I'm like, I'm going to one-up you, mom.
Yeah, that's incredible. I just want to say, my work ethic, we talk about work ethic. Obviously, Brad started me playing basketball at the age of 3. So I feel like you guys really worked. You guys did business and all that. But as the youngest, like, I saw how hard you guys worked. I saw mom, I saw Brad, I saw like, I've seen all you guys and how you work. So my work ethic comes from you guys. So just seeing that, and you guys always being there for me, whether it's, again, I played basketball my whole life, so it was different how I grew up, and what you guys did. You were more business type, where I was like chasing sports. But to have my older siblings, like Brad taught me basketball, Nikki, you basically raised me and helped me when mom and dad were going through the divorce. Kelley, you've always been there. I got all my motivational stuff from you, seeing City, or as a young kid, seeing you help kids all around the world, whether it was in California, whether it was going to different places, and being that Emma growing up, she's 3 years older than me, so being my best friend. So it's like, it's just, I've gained everything from you guys, and I don't take a day for granted. So I'm like, I'm super grateful.
I remember AJ, we would go to the YMCA. I have 9-10 years on you, and I think AJ was what, 3 or something, and then you would just kind of walk yourself and just get to come through the back door of the YMCA and start playing and everything. So I think you really, stood your ground, AJ, and took your basketball and your coaching to a whole nother level, and you touched a lot of lives out there. So, good for you, man.
No, I love you guys to death. I'm just gonna say it's all because of you guys. Like, every day, I'm just like, do not stop.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think we've definitely all helped raise each other, and I think there's bits and pieces of us that we're all so similar in so many ways and so different in so many ways, but we're each other's best motivators, but also best supporters. Like, I know if I'm scared to do something, the first 4 people I'm going to call are you guys, and you guys are going to talk me through that and say, go for it. I believe in you. You got this. So, I think I have that with you guys, and it's amazing. You feel like if you have that support, you do feel like you can accomplish anything, and we motivate each other by being like, oh my gosh, Kelly's doing this, Brad's doing this, AJ's doing this, and it's like we all are just striving to be a little bit better, but like we have each other as examples too.
Absolutely.
This is a mental health platform. So my favorite question to ask any guest is what they do to take care of their mental health on a daily basis. And, I think another thread that runs through all of us is the excitement around working out, right? And that physical, what that does for our mental health. And it's all connected. And that comes from growing up in the city and us going and riding our bikes on the lakefront, and dad taking us to clubs and going swimming. And, we've always been a really active family. We've run turkey trots together. The girls and I have run marathons together. Emma and Nikki own a gym together, a boutique fitness studio.
Yeah.
It is
The lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle. So
The lifestyle for us.
as I take a snapshot, and you guys, it is just so amazing that you all said yes to being here today and having this conversation, because I don't know if siblings often get the opportunity to do this. And that's my hope, is that people will tell their family members how grateful they are for one another this holiday season, and to forgive, right? Like, there's got to be forgiveness, because there was a lot of messing up along the way for all of us. But the mental health piece, that's my brand, right? What do you all do? Like, what are things people can take away from this conversation and say, oh, I never thought about that, I'm going to try that? Or something that you found that is a game changer for you on a daily basis to take care of your mental health?
I think when I first got sober, I think just putting my headphones on and going for nice long walks, and whether you're walking in a park or by the lake or around the block, but I think just something about moving and walking just kind of gets your mind out of the standstill. So I think walking really helped me out a lot.
Love that, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Nikki, tell us.
I guess for me, I try to find, daily habits in terms of like self-care and taking care of myself. I think so much of my life as being a middle child was always being worried about everybody else. So, sometimes it's hard for me to give that self-care, that like time for myself, but definitely, I try to live holistically. So whether that's like incorporating, different essential oils, aromas, doing like 30 seconds of breath work, just trying to work out, trying to exercise, do yoga. Yeah, definitely, movement, I think all is a common denominator between all of us, just because it is so much of what connected all of us as kids too, going and having those daily habits of like going to the health club with dad, and we would all swim together and work out together and run together. And so it's definitely something that I've incorporated in my adult life to make sure that I always feel like if I feel physically strong, I feel mentally strong. And so, and just being in a supportive environment too, like Emma and I opening up the studio, it was a big deal for us, because just having that supportive environment, moving your body, it's all good for your mental health. So
how many years are you and Emma have that studio now?
7.
7 years. Wow.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I remember you just
That's
opened
incredible.
it up, and I was like, wow.
That's incredible.
And you guys are like
Gosh.
pushing it. Like, wow, good for you guys.
Yeah, it's been great.
Good.
Come on,
That's
Emmy.
awesome.
What do you do?
I think for me, mostly it's just at the end of the day, looking at everything and just being super grateful for where we're at, where we've been, how far we've come, giving yourself grace, just saying like you've done the best you can. We all wear so many different hats, and I think it's really easy for us to be hard on ourselves and say, I could have done this better, or how Kelley says, I should have. You're not supposed to should yourself. And I think being in the positions that we are in, it's very easy to do that to ourselves. So just stopping that frame of thinking and, thinking about all the positives and stuff. And then just going back to what you were saying, Cal, about, how the businesses have all shaped us. I look at each and every single one of you guys and just the relationships that you have with people and the impact that you have when you come in contact with one person. Like, I remember being so young and just looking at all the customers that would walk through Joe's, and like, just the way that Brad would light them up, and just
Literally.
no, they came there
My
to see,
man.
Yeah, they came there to see you, and it was
Thanks,
amazing to
Emma.
see and to watch. And I remember someone came up to me and they were like, "Is that your boyfriend?" And I was like, "Brad?" And they were like, "We see the way you look at him." And I'm like, "That's my brother." But I was just in awe at like what you do
Thanks,
on
Emma.
a daily basis. Yeah. So I mean, each and every one of you guys, like we care so much about people to
Man, man.
fault. And I think that's why our
To a
relationship.
fault. You're
I
right.
think that's why
You're
our
right. That's the key word.
I think that's why our relationships now are as strong as they are, because we genuinely care about each of each other. And I think that is a huge part of what keeps us going every day.
Mm.
It's so powerful. Speaking on that, it's we kind of all talked about the gym and everything we've done, whether it's hot yoga, whether it's every day I wake up, I pray, I say 10 things, 15 things that I'm grateful for. I feel like that with my mental has helped me in so many ways to really be like, wait, I have all of this, rather than be like, wait, I want this. I need to focus. You focus on all the good. And I think just like Brad said, the walks, doing hikes, going to the gym, whatever it is. But obviously, Kelley's such an expert on the mental health, and even this month being Men's Mental Health Awareness, I think
Mhm.
as an athlete, my entire life, it's always been go, go, go. Like you got to be tough. You got to be strong. You got to be, you can't be down. And I think that the best mental health that I've done is be able to speak up more and lean on you guys and say, you know what? Stop. Sorry, Kel.
No,
Well, we
swearing
can
is
delete that.
totally appropriate.
You know what? I'm going through a really tough time, rather than put it under the rug and be like, man, I'm good. I'm good. And I think being able to speak up, because it's not, you guys aren't just having an impact on me. The fact that I'm able to do that with you guys, I can now help not just boys, not just women, but more men, because it's a stigma. It's, hey, oh, you got to be strong. You got to do this. And I think that being vulnerable and saying, hey, listen, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to not feel your best, but it's not okay not to tell somebody. And I think just during one of my toughest times in my life right now, leaning on you guys, I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. But I could have just went the other way and said, man, I'm good. Like, forget it. Calling you guys, being able to cry to you guys, being able to let you guys know how I really feel. I think that mental health, besides the working out and all that stuff, I think that's the biggest thing, is speaking up.
Mhm.
And I don't want other people to be afraid of it, to say, oh, you know what? I don't feel good. Speak up. And I've learned that from Brad. Just again, Brad's been a dad to me, a brother to me. He's taught me so much, but just seeing what he's gone through and being able to speak to me and be like, yo, just keep doing what you're doing. But I just think the mental health is so important, and just being able to speak up, I think it's the most powerful thing. When you're not feeling okay, that's okay.
Mhm.
Wow. You know, I think that taking a moment for people who might be struggling this holiday season with, maybe it's their, first time as a divorced parent,
Mm.
or they lost a child to mental health or addiction issues. Where we can sit here today and say how much strength we feel in one another. Um, and when mom and dad got divorced, um, I was like actually kind of excited. I said to them, like, I think that's a really good thing for you guys, and oftentimes when I hear my clients say, like, I can't get divorced because of my kids. And I think getting divorced is actually one of the bravest things somebody can do when they're not in a
Mm.
healthy relationship,
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
this is the byproduct of it. And our relationships have shifted and molded, and sometimes we're closer to one person than the other, but you guys are all a thread of constant that is in my life. And my hope is that people take this message, that if it's not a sibling, there are a lot of people who have strained relationships with siblings, or parents are
Yeah.
estranged from a parent, that they find somebody, right? That they find
Mm.
somebody that they can feel this close to. And so, a gentle reminder to everybody who's listening to tap into your passions, be the change that you wish to be in the world, and be the change that you wish to be and see in your own family of origin. I love you guys so much, and I'm so glad that you said thank you for being here today.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Any last closing remarks?
Yeah, just to say back on the holidays, obviously we're doing this before the holidays. And, I guess it's just about finding your own tradition, making your own tradition, really diving into what you were saying, just about like, being authentically you. And just because, you grew up doing something a certain way, if that no longer aligns with you, that's okay. And, I think I've made a lot of new traditions with my family, my kids. But, you keep the old ones too. And yeah, I think that traditions are great, and I'm somebody who loves traditions, but at the same time I'm learning a lot that if it doesn't look that cookie cutter way, that is okay. For me, celebrating Thanksgiving on Saturday and not on the Thursday of Thanksgiving, back way back when, that would have been really hard for me. Like, we have to celebrate it. We all together on Thanksgiving. So I think, yeah, just piggybacking on that, and just about finding your own traditions and, what makes it work for you.
Mm. And certainly, if it's not your family of origin, it can be your chosen family.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
I want to say
everybody
one thing before
Go
we
ahead.
leave. Just to leave off of, you guys know I like to talk, but I challenge people, I challenge families, just because we've all gone through tough times, whether Nikki and Kelley have gone through something, Emma, Brad, me and Brad have gone through stuff. I'm not saying force it, but to try and patch that up, because nobody knows what tomorrow brings. So while people fight, while people argue, at the end of the day, it's like the fact that we're all still here and we're closer than we've ever been. And we've all gone through some of the toughest times together, whether it's not against each other because we're family, but haven't always agreed. I just tell people, listen, life is not guaranteed tomorrow. So whatever you're going through, try and find a way to patch it up. Try and find a way to spread that love to each other, because it's so freaking powerful. And again, you got to get out of your mind. You got to get out of all the stuff. Well, they did it. It doesn't matter. How do we make things better? How do we move forward from this? Because I feel like just us being here has had the biggest impact in my life. And I want people to feel that as well. And I feel like all of us, for what we bring to this world, is so powerful. And us not just talking, but I feel like we have all helped so many people, so many other families, just by being real. So us even getting on here, Brad getting uncomfortable, maybe Emma, whatever it is, us getting uncomfortable and being vulnerable to be able to still impact people, because Emma said it best, we care about people so freaking much.
Mm-hmm.
And I challenge people, if you got a bad relationship, whatever it is, try and make it better. That's all I want during this holiday season, for all of us and for other people to take from this.
And we can only be responsible for what we do, because sometimes the other person doesn't have that same energy or desire, and it's okay to let that go when that's no longer serving you too.
So true, big sis.
I was going to
Right.
say, at least if it's a boundary, then you don't, right? Like, there's a difference in that. Kelley can talk about that on the next episode.
Yeah, I'll invite
when's
you
the
guys
next
back when we're in
episode?
studio.
First, yes.
Yeah,
Talk
you guys
about
are the
boundaries,
forgiveness. That'll be next
forgiveness,
episode.
generational
Okay.
trauma,
All of that.
Wow.
a lot more to unpack. There certainly wasn't enough in 45 minutes to get to everything, but and just a shout out, because a large portion of people who listen to are in recovery, and in our family of origin, there are 50 years of recovery between 3 people in the Rompza family, and hopefully we will continue to spread that. All right, love you guys.
I love you guys.
Love you.
Thank you for everything.